a laundry bag. There's like a mesh laundry bag that you could. Hi, Kimberly. You could put your socks in to keep them together, or anything that you want to put through the laundry that was kind of like odd. It came in this little mesh. You could buy these mesh bags. So whatever kind of mesh bag you can find, something that's going to let air freely move in and out. I used to put the mothballs in that mesh bag, and then I would just put like 5 supers, a bag of mothballs, 5 supers, a bag of mothballs. But you could just lay them in, because the mothballs would just lay on the top of the frames, or you could even take a frame out and stick that bag in the middle. But that's what I used to use, because I'm not a handy carpenter. I don't have all that extra wood laying around. So that's what I would use to get the mothballs into my colonies.
I do
What do
something
you do, Tom?
similar. I just put like five, like you said, 3 to 5, 6. I don't even count them, and I throw a half a bag, maybe 5 or 6 pair of mothballs on the frames. Stack more on, more pair of mothballs, and when I get to the top, I just throw another, like a whole bag on top, because as they dissolve, they just fall down through all the frames. And I usually do that. They last about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before they dissolve. And then I'll just do them a second time, like I just gonna be doing here real soon. And 3 weeks from now, we'll be getting a freeze or a frost, and I won't have to worry about it anymore this year. And I'll just let them overwinter. And then by next spring, there's maybe not even a spell of it. I did learn something this year, though. I'm actually now
Go ahead.
using a pair of mothballs in all the corners of my barn and all along the inside of the walls of the barn, because it keeps everything out of the barn.
Wow. That's
So
that's a good. Yeah, mothballs work. So I'm trying to I want to make sure that we get the right mothballs. So this is how the rule of thumb I used to do. On the front of a bag of mothballs is a word that starts with an N. It's a long scientific name, not scientific, but chemical name. And it has an N. It starts with an N. And if I saw that N, I knew that that bag of mothballs was no. So you don't want to get that bag of mothballs. You want to get the one right next to it. There's crystals. Let's see if this one has it. So if it has that word N in the trying to get it to get
I'm trying
bigger
to pull
here.
up an image.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't get one that wants to get uh that I can see the ingredients. But if you could do that, Tom. So if you get a bag of mothballs, you go to Walmart and you get you're looking at mothballs, and the main ingredient starts with an N. Like I said, it's a long word. Hi, Roy.
I thought it was a D, a para benzene.
Well, it starts with an N. So that N is for no. You get the other ones the other mothballs that don't have that N. Paramoth works. Okay. Hi, Gary. Hi, Stu. Yeah, so the there you go. Whatever brand here, I'm going to pop this up. So these are the ones we
Yeah,
don't want to use. Naphthalene. The N in
yeah.
that long word is for no. Don't want to
Yeah.
use those.
No, you want to use the one that's, see if I
Yeah.
can copy it.
Starts with a just go down, Tom, go
Oh,
down below and
para,
you're going to see the screen with the
yeah,
plus sign.
that's not a good
And then
picture.
I have to click a button once you bring that up. And you should be able to see your tab.
Okay, now I got it. Good.
See? So I got while Tom's bringing that up, I got my order of um I got my order of lip balms from Grammy, from Lisa Aesthetics. Aesthetics. Must can't say it.
No, that's not it.
Let's see. Is that the right way? You see that? Aesthetics. But I got my lip balms from Grammy. They're fabulous, fantastic. I'm gonna get these. Have I'm this weekend. I'm starting. I'll be full time into December with my farmers markets and whatnot. And she also sent me a pound of honey. Oh my heavens, this is so good. She's in Ozark, Alabama. Grammy's Hives and Homestead. That's what I hit out of this pound so far. I think I got it
Ready
Saturday,
whenever you're ready.
Friday. Hmm.
Yeah, I got it shared. Well, you
Oh,
got
okay.
to
Here we go.
let it in. So it's the
There you
paradichlorobenzen.
go. Can everybody see that? Let me see if I click this button. What happens? Oh,
I can make,
what happened there?
I don't know. I'll see if I can make it bigger on
Look,
my screen.
every time you talk, Tom, I get feedback.
Oh, shoot.
I'm not.
Here it is right here. I got it highlighted. So has
Every
everybody
time you
got
talk, Tom, I
it?
get feedback.
Hmm. Let me double check all my.
I don't
Let me
know.
close this.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be on my end. So somebody got a new straw. All right, let's get rid of this here. Somebody got a new straw machine. You are brave. Just ordered
Oh,
a new
no.
honey straw pump. Honey straw pump, says James. So I'm assuming you have a honey straw machine, right?
Yeah, you must have the machine if you order a straw pump, but maybe the pump
Uh,
includes the whole machine. It pumps it into into the straws. Yeah, Nancy, you're in the
oh.
background for some reason.
Yeah, you stop sharing. You know what I mean? Stop sharing. Because that's I got so yeah, so that's the screen that you're sharing. There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
But nobody else could see that.
Right.
Does anybody else hear static when Tom talks? Because if it's not coming through to the audience, then I'm just not going to worry about it. Uh,
Is there an attic or static when I talk?
anybody? Toilet cakes.
Maybe nobody hears me.
Nobody, I know, I don't know. Does any, maybe there's nobody out there. Do, 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 do.
Kimberly
Oh no,
says
Kimmy
no.
says no. Kimmy says no. Um,
Okay.
so,
Thanks.
oh, my sister is here. Diana Lindsay. Wow, look at that. And she's getting ready for her daughter's wedding. That's
Hello,
my
Diana.
my real sister. My real
Roy, Bundy,
still
Gary.
have a thing. What is this? I have a honey straw
Yeah.
machine. It is a honey bear container with a pointy end on it. Oh, me too. Me too. I have some well, pound and a half plastics that I used to carry. I don't carry them anymore. And that's what I fill my little bears with. But I don't do straws. So interesting here over on the East Coast. And again, I'm north of Philadelphia. So anybody that doesn't realize where I'm from, Tom's Ohio. Where are you from, Tom?
West corner of Ohio.
West corner of Ohio.
So
So
west
I'm
of
from Philadelphia,
Cincinnati.
north of Philadelphia, and some of the farmers markets that I work and that I go to, you cannot have plastic. You can't have plastic. Now I can have plastic jars that they take home, but we can't have plastic straws, we can't have plastic silverware, we can't have plastic bags. So that's just one reason. Now there's a few reasons why I don't carry straws, but that's one reason I don't. Number two is I don't want the hassle of filling them and having a machine and all of that. I heard it's a lot of work. So I just don't think that's a revenue stream that I really want to go down. Oh, and then okay, so Stu seals it with, yeah, that makes sense. What do you sell them
Yeah.
for, Stu? Are they really, I mean, can you really get, I mean,
Your money back in a year or two?
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
way of
I would say a
where's
season.
DC where's DC when I need him for words?
Return
Can we
on
say hi to
investment.
Tony? Yeah. So worth my I call it, is it worth my while? But
So what's
so
the,
this weekend
what's
I had an event last Wednesday in Mount Airy, and it was nice. It was a nice event. It's just a community something or other. Um, that was really nice. And this weekend I have Upper Marion and then Sellersville. It's Penridge Arts. I did really well there last year. Penridge Arts Festival, something like that.
yeah. I'll be
Oh,
busy with all the Oktoberfest festivals.
mm-hmm.
Since Cincinnati is probably the west side is probably 90% Germans and 10% Irish, and the city is probably like 60 to 7% Germans, and then the rest of it something else.
Hi, Chad. Hi, Chad Lesher.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah, okay. So Stu sells them for $1. I gu- yeah. So I guess what do they buy? Like five of them at a clip, and per volume. Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
How much honey fits? I don't know. An ounce? Stu, what do they fill? What do you fill them with?
I mean, not even an ounce. I would think a quarter of an ounce, half an ounce.
Oh, James gets oh, okay. Honey Stick Junior, 375 cents each. Maybe a tablespoon. I don't know what that compares to in ounces, but yeah, okay. I see. I do get requests for them. I really do. I guess you could possibly do taste testing with those. I don't
Just
know.
take one straw, just take one straw a day in the morning or evening. Yeah, no measurement required.
Yeah. So let's see, what else do we want to talk about tonight?
I had a
The
question
college.
I had a question I wanted to ask. What's
Okay, go
everybody's
ahead.
plan for 2026? Since this is the time to
Mm.
plan for 2026, are you going to get less hives, maintain what you have, or grow your hives? I'm maintaining what I have. I don't plan to grow any. I might even cut a few hives down. All depends. But what I'm doing is moving hives to different apiaries, so I don't have so many in my at my place. But still maintain close to the same numbers. So I wonder what everybody else had on their mind. How about you, Nancy?
Um, so so last year, I really culled a lot of my genetics. I let a lot of colonies go that just I was limping along and I really needed to let them go. So I'm at the point now, I think I'm at, I don't know, anywhere between 17 and 20 colonies. So I would like to probably winter at the number I'm at. I have two that I think I'm just gonna let go. I don't think I'm gonna even
Yeah.
combine them. I think I'm just gonna let them go. Uh, but so two, so I'll be down to whatever that number comes to, and then I'd like to fill all of my deep boxes next year. I think I don't think I'm gonna take a mentee, which takes a lot of time. Really, it's probably takes comparing to 5 colonies, a mentee. So I really don't think I want a mentee next year, and I'd like to get all my deeps filled up. So that would put me at about 35 colonies.
Do you see Brent's email comment?
Who?
Brent
You
Wills?
can you can you can click on them.
I can't.
You can.
No.
Okay. According to Google, there is a teaspoon of honey in the straw, so that's 64 straws per pound of honey. See? Eh. Well,
Yeah.
Stu had mentioned back up. There's Stu mentioned something here. I
Maybe
can
it
sell
was
100 straws from a pint of honey, so it's $100 per pint. Yeah, okay. There you go.
I might have to invest into a honey straw machine. I'm retired now, so I have the time. Maybe I'll look at them at
Hey,
Nobby this winter.
there's Brian. Hi, Brian from Flower Street.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, all of
I'm
my
the
queens.
same
Good
way,
Lord.
Brian. Two-thirds of my hives have somersaulters queens in them right now. So it'll be interesting. And I got 9 6/6 12 frame hives that never got big this year. They didn't fill out all 12 frames. And they got comb on them. So they're built out. They just haven't filled up with bees. So I'm not sure about them this year. How many of those are going to make it? I
Go
don't know
ahead, Tom. You
why.
take it first. You take it
Yeah,
first.
if you can. I'll put the weak one on top with a double screen board. So I wouldn't, if you want to save the weak, I would actually, if it was a weak queen, I would just pinch her and combine the bees. But if you want to try to overwinter with her, I would get a double screen board and put her on top of the strong hive.
And why would you put her on top?
Because all the heat from the strong hive will go up to help keep the weak low number of bees warm through the winter. I used to do that a lot, knowing that hot hive wouldn't be any good anyway. So nowadays, I would have already pinched that queen and combined them a month ago. And I don't
Yeah,
do
and
single combines. I used to. I just add the frames of bees right to the other hive.
yeah. So the reason I would combine, or the two colonies that I have, they're queenless. And I don't want them to make a new queen at this time. It's just too late. It's just going to cause
Yeah,
problems. So
yeah,
they're pulling a lot of honey and storing a lot of honey for me, a syrup that I put up top. And so they're filling some mediums with stores. So I am using them as a workforce right now. So I'll take those mediums and I'll stick them on top of somebody that's a really strong. I'll add to a really strong hive just to keep it strong. And then
right.
I'll just put those deeps. There's really nothing there because they don't have a queen. There's no brood. There's just bees, and they'll find a home. So when I do have to I want to do it before October 1st, but I'll just pop that medium off and I'll put that on a strong colony, and then I'll take those deeps and I'll just shake them out, or I'll just flip that box sideways and stick it in front of a strong colony, and they'll just go in on their
Yeah,
own.
yeah. Right,
So
right when it gets dark and the guard bees start disappearing, the other bees from the box will just start filing into that hive. It's amazing how that works. Yeah,
yeah.
after all these years, I'm not too patient with weak queens anymore. I get rid of them as soon as I deem them being weak. I did a I did a tree cutout. Got neighbor, well, not a neighbor, but not only a mile from my house. Cut down a tree and found out it had a small hive of bees in it, and none of the frames got destroyed. It was just upside down. So when it fell, the log landed upside down, so that all the comb was still perfectly hanging, just upside down. And it was just five half frames of bees. And this was the middle of August, and I checked them last week, and there's still five frames of bees with I say a frame total of brood. So they're not really growing. So I got them in a 10 frame box, and I would think they would have been at least a third to a double their size in a 6 week time. That's two bees flows. But we've been dry the past 6 weeks, 5 weeks. Not a whole lot of nectar coming in. So it still might be that queen is on the fence right now. I'm going to see if I can make it go over winter time. I'm not going to combine them or put them on a stronger ham. I'm just going to let them go. It's not one of my queens that I grafted. So if I don't see any big uh, change by April 1st, she's getting pinched. And I'll put a virgin in that I grafting in
Yeah.
April.
Yeah, Gary's saying here about that's a method you could do, Gary. If you could put that on the bottom, absolutely. I don't know what configuration you're running. So is it a deep, or you wouldn't want to put a deep and a medium underneath.
Oh,
You just want to put one brood box. Um, but yeah, so I don't pinch queens. I would
all
newspaper
right, Gary.
if I had if
What I
Mhm.
would do is just switch the two boxes. Put the strong hive where the weak hive is, and put the weak hive where the strong hive is. And all during the middle of the day when all the foragers are out. And you'll get all that forager bee force into your weaker hive.
Well, yeah, do you have a good queen? I mean, do you like your queen in there, Stu? If you have a queen that you're willing to if you have a queen that's willing to take them through winter for you, just pick them up and move them into a strong, like Tom said, just switch them out.
Yeah,
If you're willing, if that queen's willing to take, that's the other thing you got to figure. If that queen's willing to take you through the winter, I'd keep her. So I don't pinch
yeah.
queens, but I would just newspaper like so I would newspaper in both queens and let them figure it out. I overwinter a lot of my colonies overwinter with two queens. I have some queens, some putting queens out now, and they'll overwinter with two queens, one up top in the box, one down below. Sisters, and then they'll
Gotcha.
get rid of whichever one comes spring they decide. So overwintering with two queens is quite normal in my area.
Yeah, I don't know how weak he means by weaker hive. And if it's been weak all year, or if it's semi-new hive, been weak all year, I wouldn't even try to winter it.
So Stu overwinters in double deep. So can you pull off the frame? Can you, if it's a weak hive, can you take that down? I don't know if you run 8 or 10s, but can you take one of those deeps down to a single, let it sit a couple days, and then take that deep, like you said, and Or just take the frames and combine them in. That would be less work.
Yeah.
So yeah, so so if you have a queen that you think, even though it's a small colony, you can switch them out. You can switch, you put straps around the colony and pick it up, move it, and then strap the other one and put it in its place, the strong one. Um,
Yeah. And if it's a weak hive and
so
it's in a double deep, I would shake them down into a single box or a single deep. That doesn't sound
just
like it's a very
overwinter in a
good plan.
single. Just take them down to a single and switch them out, and then leave her sit in a single over winter. Where's
Yeah,
Stu?
that's what
Stu's
I
in
would do.
West Virginia, Stu. So yeah, you could overwinter a single easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But sounds
Stu, what he's
sounds like
saying here. Yeah.
sounds like she's been a week.
So we got another creamer question, but it looks like they're handling that over. I don't cream honey, so I don't have any. They're handling that over in the chat.
Well,
You
I
don't cream
cream
either, do
honey.
you?
Yeah, I cream.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I haven't yet this year, but I still got some jars from last year. So I bought one of those mixers for your kitchen. Wow, what they're called?
Forget how
Um,
Brian started.
a
Brian
pretty
from
big a pretty big one. I bought one of the bigger units that's got 10 speeds. Get one that has like 10 speeds, and I run mine on the slowest speed, speed one. I can make shoot. I can make 20 jars in a load.
Oh, there
So
you go, Stu. Yeah, I gotcha. I want to get to bees nuts, honey. Um, so I think some guys will start out like, I don't know how Flower Street does a lot of creamed honey, Brian out there. I think you start out with just a hand mixer or a timer. I think they put like a timer so that it spins 15 minutes every, I don't know what it is.
yeah, I don't even follow that rule. I just turn it on and like we're going really slow. I mean, not even that fast. I just leave it on and I'll leave it on for an hour, turn it off, turn it back on, and it creams up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think Stu, you can cream
Yeah,
honey
that's
with
what I use
KitchenAid mixer. That's how the guys start out.
a 10 speed KitchenAid mixer, and you run it on speed one, and it works great. If you get one that's only like a 6 speed, speed one's too fast. You got to get at least 10 speeds on it. And they make them. KitchenAid mixer is exactly what I have.
Oh, okay. Chris. So great topic. I really want to hit on this. This is something that I wanted to hit on because I am using ProSuite for the first time this year too. Chris, tell me how you're feeding. I feed with everybody probably already knows this, but anybody that's new, I feed with Rapid Round, and I don't have a cap here, but this duct tape black. There's a solid cap that goes over that center hole. But this is a Rapid Round that I put on top. This is the deeps I run now. This is a 5 frame, so that's why it's up here. But this on an 8 frame, this will fit right through that hole. That the bees come up into here, and they come out the top. So when I'm feeding ProSuite, and I put Pro Sweet in straight, and I put the cap that comes with the wrap it around on top. So now the bees can't. They're working the Pro Sweet from underneath. The cap covers that, right? And this is the lid that goes on top. So
I used Pro Sweet last year.
how's he feeding it? Internal jar feeders currently, but would like to transition to buckets. Yeah. So I'll tell you something about buckets too. So anyway, so this is how I'm feeding my Pro Sweet. I do have 1 gallon buckets that I put on top, and the Pro Sweet, they just had they couldn't get it, really, it sat there. They wouldn't take it down.
Yeah, it's
So
too thick.
the plugs, the plugs, and I should have one up here. The plugs for your buckets have holes in them. So if you want to change out plugs and put bigger holes for Pro Sweet, and then have a set of plugs that you would use for like thin syrup, you could change the plugs out on your buckets. But I don't want buckets anymore. I'm getting away from buckets. But anyway, so Pro Sweet. So what I did was I fed straight Pro Sweet in here. Right, this is a half a gallon. Now I'm backyard beekeeper. I live with my apiary, so I go pack every day. And little dirty, little ditty.
Yeah, hi Jack. I like your new title.
Yeah,
Little dirty
that's
about
cute. So I put in
John
Pro Sweet
Mellencamp.
straight.
I can tell you a story about John Mellencamp. We used to be good friends.
All right.
When I used to live up in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, I am a beginner. I am a beginner. Stu, I thought you were like 8 or 9 years, like me and Tom. Anyway,
Yeah,
back to Pro Sweet.
I think he's
You're,
kidding.
you're sidetracked. You're sidetracked. You're the side. So anyway, I put Pro Sweet in, right? Ran two rounds, so they got a gallon. And then I thought, well, hell's bells, I need them to slow down. So I put water in. So I gave them water because it hasn't rained here. They need water. They need water to process that Pro Sweet. Well, I think. So I put water in. They took that. Then they didn't take the water as quick. Right. Then I put Pro Sweet in with the water. So I fed it thick. Now I fed it half and half. And then I don't know what the fourth one, I don't know what I'm going to do, but it depends on how quick they take that water and syrup down. So that's my story. I don't know
I
what you're going to do. I forgot who asked the question. Chris.
Chris, yeah, I bought some last year and I cut it in half, which made it 1.5 to 1. Because it's like three to one, or maybe thicker than 3 to 1. So when I cut it in half, I made it 1.75 to 1, something like that. But it
Yeah, it
will
depends
ferment.
where you live, Chris. I don't know where you live and how fast you need them to build up for winter, because we're already what? We're already at the 16th, and that's less than 2 weeks for me. North of Philadelphia here, I do not want to crack boxes or inner covers after October 1. They need that time to seal all those cracks. Because I don't wrap. They can do the work, but I don't wrap. Oh, Missouri. Okay, Wellness Spring, Missouri. So yeah, Tom, that's closer to you. Oh, I got a feed collector over here. I have no fall flow. I have there's no way around not feeding. Not feed If I don't feed, I'll lose all my bees. Or not
Yeah,
pull honey.
well, I've gotten a little bit of fall flow this year because it rained a couple light times. We're supposed to get some more rain Sunday. If it rains again Sunday, all the late season goldenrod is just starting to bloom now to the next few days. So if we can get a rain Sunday, next week will be a, a decent flow. And I'm kind of hoping on that so I don't have to feed them again. But I'm not keeping my
Um,
fingers crossed.
yeah, no, I don't. I've been at this location. It's the end of my 8th year, and I never get enough fall flow to sustain through winter. There's no way. But
See
yeah,
my
Chris, so you
Gary?
got some options. You can fill that jar with half. You can fill it with all Pro Sweet. See what they do with it. You can fill it with half water, half Pro Sweet. See what they do with it. And how much do they really need to build up between now? How much weight do they need between now and October 1, or whatever your cutoff time is?
Gary, I don't like the
Oh,
Apple May feeder on top. They're too small. They need to double the size of them. With that, I have to fill them every week, every few days. I want to
so
talk to the
bees,
owner,
nuts, and
Maggie.
honey. If this is your first year, if your first year, you should have been feeding all. Were you feeding since you got the bees? You need to feed them all year the first year because they need to build up that comb. So
Yeah,
have you been feeding all year and now you're just trying to put weight on them? Box of rocks. What's Benny say? You want to lift them if it's a box of rocks.
yeah. You can do. I do the one hand four finger lift. If I can lift it up with one or two fingers, you better feed, feed, feed. If it takes you your whole hand to lift it up, it it's heavy enough.
Yeah.
Or
Mine.
two hands.
Yeah. I want it to
You don't
be,
have a
I want
scale.
it to be too heavy for me to lift it. Now I run screen bottoms, so I don't, I just have them on a little board in the back, but I don't want to be able to lift them at all. I want
Yeah.
to not be
You
able to lift that high.
and for a guy like me, average, if I it should take my whole hand or even two hands to lift it. So just not the whole hive up, just the back of it up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just lifting, hefting, just lifting the back up. So bees and nuts, what you want to do is you want to go in there and look to see how much they have stored. I don't know if you're running 10 frames or 8 frames or deeps or mediums, but you got to get in there and figure out like how many frames of food do they have, so you
Yeah.
can get an idea of what your weight is. Um,
Yeah, one thing I do, and I've already done this, is I run now double deep. I run double deeps for winter. I already last month put the queen down in the bottom box if she wasn't already down in the bottom box. I pulled the outside frames of honey that was in the bottom box up to the middle above the queen, and any other honey that was in the top box, I moved all to the center above the queen because I want to get at least 6 to 7 frames of that 10 frame box with honey above the bees, above the queen and the bees. So when they winter time, they go straight up to the center of the hive or above the queen where they are right now and go that way. Right now, this late in the season, that queen will not be moving from frame to frame to frame. She'll probably stay on that frame or the frame next to it the rest of the fall through winter. And they'll just move up straight up from that frame to the frame above them. They might shift over one frame, but that's about it. So I try to get all the honey above them ahead of time. And that's what I'm doing right now when I feed them. And my goal is 7 frames.
Someone mentioned in here, oh, okay, so Bees and Nuts is running 8 frame So
I would say 6 frames. You just have
hold
two,
on, Tom.
one on each
Let's put the
outside.
yeah, 8 frame boxes and double deep. So you have 16 frames. I would want for your first year in, I'd want that full second deep to be full. I'd want
Well,
8 frames across the top.
at least six
That's your
minimal.
yeah, he's new though. I want to push him. I think he should be pushed to have
Well,
eight across the top.
yeah.
Or you can have so here, let me draw this I can draw a picture. You can do here's your double deep. So you can do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so honey. So you can do this too. Nuts. You can do where this is your double deep, right? You're going to put honey here. You're going to put honey here. The bees are
Well,
going to already, or the bees are going to already do that. But when you go to take these boxes apart, you put them back together again. You're going to put honey on your northwest side here. You might even want to put 2 frames, and then you can leave these 2 frames up here open. You know, but you want to get as many frames up here as possible and possibly one down here. But you want to do that before October 1. And then this would be a nice brood nest for you going into winter right there. But that as a first year beekeeper, that's what I think you, and then you want your double bubble insulation up here.
by the end of October, you want to make sure those middle frames, if they're not honey, put those to the outside because that queen in that picture will go straight up in that box.
You don't need pollen, Gary. That pollen ain't gonna be no good till next spring. You don't need
Yeah,
pollen.
you don't need much pollen. There's enough pollen right now coming in with the goldenrod and then the ironweed. And esters will be blooming here in a few more weeks. Pollen's not an issue this time of year for
So you
most
should have
people.
10, you should have 10, you should have 8 across the top full honey and 2 on the sides full honey. So you should be 10. I would feed them for nuts. You know what I would do? I would feed them that pro sweet until they don't take it no more. Just feed them, feed them, feed them, and see if you can
Yeah,
get at least 8 frames full across the top. And they'll probably put it in the sides, but
yeah. I
if you
wouldn't
have
worry about
any,
the sides. No, they'll do that first. They'll do the two outside frames around the brood box. Then they
yeah,
start filling the top up. So if your top is full, your bottoms is full enough. You don't have to go down there and look.
yes, yeah, readjust the frames to that configuration. You're managing these colonies, so you're going to go in and you're going to put honey on the outsides of box number 1. This is box number 1, and then you're going to put all the honey on the outsides of box number 2. And then you're going to continue to feed them. Your feeders up here, so they can backfill this here. And don't worry about taking too much. Their colony is going to regulate. If that's a good queen, you have her. You don't. I mean, she's the only queen you got. She's going to regulate that colony. She's not going to, getting
Yeah,
honey bound and fall. I don't think
not
honey
this
bound and
time of
pollen
year.
bound is a queen issue. You're not going to fix the queen issue at this time anyway. So just feed them. Just
Yeah,
just just give them as much as they'll take.
I already checked a couple of my hives actually today, and they were just all of them just had about a circle this big on two sides of the frame. Just enough bees to keep the numbers rolling that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them had one on each side of the frame. So
I haven't gone into any of my strong colony. I keep making videos of going into my weak colonies because honestly, I don't want to go into my strong colonies. They know what they're doing. The last thing they need in the middle of September is me going in there and nooching around. So
these are my
I don't
six.
even want to.
I'll question that. It wasn't my big colonies I was going in. I was going in my 6x6 12 frame nukes, and that's
Yeah,
about all that
yeah,
they were showing.
yeah. I got that one that is queenless, and they just weren't requeen. I got a 5 frame that I keep making videos on, and I don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Hey, Grayson.
No, they're just die. They were, the
Yeah.
funny thing
So,
about it, queenless hives right now won't even go into laying worker. They just die,
mm-mm.
disappear. Bees know
No.
it's already too late.
So yeah. So I want them. They're pulling down resources into the comb, and I'm going to use that comb on a strong colony. I don't want to try. So what I've done for so many years and I want to stop doing is I got everybody through winter. Some I shouldn't have gotten through winter. So anybody that's weak or dying out, I just need to take their resources and give it to a strong colony. I don't want to make, if you got a weak colony and you got a strong colony, at this time of year, now in spring it's different, but you don't
Like,
want to take anything from the strong colony and try to equalize at this time of the year north of Philadelphia where I'm at. Now, where Grayson is down there in Alabama, he might have a little more time. But for me up
yeah,
here, that strong colony has just got to get stronger, and that weak colony has to get dissolved. So
yeah. I'm to the point now of saying the same thing. If I had 12 hives and four of them are just not good hives, they're not putting the poundage on like they should be. I actually would rather go in the winter with eight. I would take those four hives. I would get rid of the queen. I wouldn't even keep her because chances are she's not going to make it through winter anyway. And I would take those
mhm.
resources and set them up for what we just talked about, but they have all that honey above them. And that's kind of what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. And I'm basically done.
Oh,
I
I got
just
this
got that
little.
one hive
Okay,
that I'm
cool.
letting go. Hive number 10. Hive number 10's been a problem for this whole season. You can't get a good queen in that hive for nothing.
Yeah, I got one of them that just requeened and requeened. Then they had a good queen, and then I killed her. I put her above a queen excluder for Formic Pro. That was a joke. Oh, the other thing is I got to get back to is OA. I kind of everybody was good. I did Formic. I did rounds of OA. Everybody was holding good, holding steady. So now I know they're taking in lots of feed, but I do want to start getting back to the mite issue. um, I don't know if we need to talk about mites. I mean, we have people talk about mites all the time, but um, so I don't do any of that Varoxan yet. I mean, I just do Formic, and then I do oxalic vaporization. So I did read through that new paper that came out in July from Washington State. I did read through that, and I have that here that I do want to bring up. Uh, Let me get it up on my computer first. Um, Here.
Yeah, Gary, one frame of bees will not, if you're up north, that's not going to make it through winter. There won't be enough bees. If they're 100% healthy and even have a great queen, they won't survive. They won't have the numbers to keep the hive warm. Okay, Roxanne.
So this is from the Washington State. We'll look through this, but I do have I do have this tagged in my description. I'll use this button. I do have it tagged in the description. Uh, so Master of Science in Entomology. So this is his master's degree, May 2024. thought it was July 2025. All right. Well, anyway, so this guy is going for his master's in entomology. It's not his doctorate. This isn't a thesis he's defending, but let's see if we can find his Washington State. Let's see if we can find. So let's see, Richard, Zach, Hopkins, Shepard, and Zach. Okay. So this is who he is defending this as a master's paper. I want to see if he has the abstract. So when you're reading these papers, you pretty much can just read the abstract to get a sense of what's going on. So unlike many other miticides, OA has maintained its efficacy and can be applied in a vapor or a liquid form to control mites. However, treatment while brood is present requires repeated applications, which may be inconsistent and labor intensive. This highlights the need for an improved formulation to delay, extend its release. It is also challenging to control mites during the summer of the honey production season without the potential of honey contamination and toxicity to honeybees and young larvae during periods of high temperature. Don't we know that? To address these critical gaps and provide a more effective varroa control strategy among beekeepers in the United States, this research evaluated the potential impacts of a stabilized OA product known as Viroxan. The product is intended to release OA gradually for approximately 42 to 56 days within the colony. Now, I'm assuming everybody's reading along this with me, so I've got it on high gear here. But the extended release ensures mites are eliminated upon emergence from brood cells and reduces the need for frequent treatment reapplication. The product was tested for efficacy, toxicity, and residual in honey and wax in 4 treatments in infested colonies over 2 seasons. Okay, so there he's laying out what he did. So he has 40 hives in fall and 60 hives in summer. This product was tested for efficacy, toxicity, and wax for four treatments. Wow. So that's a long time.
That's a lot. That's the whole summer.
200. Well, it's over 2 seasons. So yeah, it was 100 days. So it was 3 months. Okay, anyway, results were compared to the industry standards dose of Apivar, which a lot of us use and like and is great, treatment in fall, and to Formic Pro treatment in the summer as positive controls, and to a no treatment colony. No treatment control, sorry. So results were compared to the industry standard. So he compared the Viroxan to Apivar, Formic Pro, and then a control with no treatment. Follow-up hive inspections, egg emergence, mite counts, honey and wax samples were investigated during the treatment in both seasons. Very interesting. So in the fall, after 52 days, we found that Viroxan, 1 time, Viroxan 1.5 time treatments performed as well as Apivar. All right. Reducing mites, 100 bees by 68%, 75, and 71. So each, okay, so the one was 68, 75, and 71, and efficacy percentage of 90.5, 92, and 91, respectively. Wow. While the no treatment control increased mites by 227. Holy cow. So there you go. Your Viroxan reduced mites, let alone doing nothing, increased mites by 227. Okay. No statistical difference were found for toxicity or residue. So that's important. No statistical differences were found for toxicity or residue, because I'm hearing some things about Viroxan having some of those issues. In the summer, eggs emerge rate was 40 67, 87 for Formic Pro, Roxanne, and no treatment controls, respectively. Okay, so let's go over that. In the summer, egg emergent rate was 40%, 67%, and 87.
For Formic Pro,
So
Roxanne,
40%
and
for
no treatment.
Formic, 67 and 87 for no treatment controls, respectively. Residual levels varied between treatment groups, but were not above previously reported natural levels of oxalic in honey. All right. Sticky cards and finishing experiment with artificial brood break allowed estimation for total mite population. Sticky cards and finishing experiment. All right. Okay. So based on the numbers, we estimated that Formic Pro 9.34, Varoxan 11.25, and Varoxan 1.5. Oh, okay. I see what they did here. So they use Varoxan at 1 dose, and then they use Varoxan 1.5. I gotcha.
I like this one about egg emergence 40, 67, and 87. So
Mhm.
Formic Pro knocked it down to 40%. Apivar was 75%, and the control one had a rate of 71.8%.
In the summer, egg
So,
emergence rate was 40%, 40% for Formic, 67% for Varoxan, and no treatment was 87%.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
The study
treatments
provide
too affect
reliable.
root rate. Yeah. So that's
So, okay, so no controls had approximately blah, 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 blah. The study provided reliable data for the use of this product as a labor saver alternative and valuable integrated pest management tool. All right, so is that the end of his? All right, there you go. So that's his abstract. That's basically, the abstract is basically the paper in a nutshell. So if you want to read the rest of this paper, then you can do that. It's easily searched. It was free. Um, so you can do that. So sounds like it's a good deal.
yeah, and it didn't affect brood as much as Formic Pro.
Hi, Uncle. Yes,
Knocked it down a little bit, but not much
but the
from the
the
control from the control rate.
yes. So you lost a little bit of brood there, or eggs. There, she shut her down, shut the queen down a little bit. However, the flip side of that is you had 227 percent increase in mites.
Right,
So I think knocking her back is part of the treatment,
right, but it
right?
was minimal compared to Formic Pro. Formic Pro was knocked back even more,
Yeah.
and people always talked about that too.
Uh-oh, what happened here? Yeah, but you know what? It's not out of time. It's a time that she's going to be shutting down anyway. So to me, well, what happened here? Where did we go, Tom?
Well, yeah. Well, there we go. That's interesting because I don't use chemicals anymore to treat my mites. I use predator mites to control the mites. And I have noticed my hives are bigger than they used to be when I treated with Formic Pro, Apivar, which I used at the beginning. So that those numbers kind of correlate to what I see now. And so far,
Right.
my using predator mites seems to be working. I'll know
That's
more
right. You
next
do
year.
use those scorpion mite. the
Yeah,
scorpion mites.
right. Pseudo scorpion mites or false scorpion
So
mites.
remind me, so you can pull up that scorpion mite thing. You have a little presentation you do on that. I think people would be interested in that.
Well,
Um,
I would have to find it again.
yeah, it's easy. Just go
Sure.
across, open a window, and then present
Yeah.
it. But so the scorpion mites, Tom buys them in. You can buy them online, and they come in like a pack of like I don't know 4,000 or something crazy. They are about 3 times the size of a mite. So compare a mite to a bee, a mite to a bee like that, and then the scorpion is 3 times the size of a. So it's not near as big as a bee, and it doesn't. I don't think the bees even notice them, the scorpion mites. But so then these scorpion mites go around and they eat all the mites that come off the bees. They don't climb on the bees to get the mite. They don't dislodge mites from bees.
I don't think it's said.
So so if you have this is something we probably should be looking into for next week. But so these scorpion mites, they're gonna go and they're gonna get all the mites that are running around, right? But if you have a bee that already has a mite that's on that bee or was in the cell of a bee, feeding on the larva, those bees are still going to have the viruses from the mites.
Here's the article.
Here we go.
It came from Bee Culture magazine.
There you go.
So
You yeah. Okay. So here you go. This
there's
is
what the
what.
pseudo scorpion mite looks like. And they actually have poison in their claws up here that kill the mites when they go attack it. And there's actually a picture of one being killed.
I'll be
This
right
is
back, Tom. You
article,
talk about.
yeah. And the best part about it, they're in every state of the United States. The only one I can't confirm is Alaska, but I don't know how much of Alaska. Another southern part has them. And they love to grow, they love to reproduce in wood mulch. So stacked wood piles, and chipped wood and stuff like that. Leaves, stuff like that. I think grass clippings and grass with leaves mixed together, they like also. So the bees were actually, if you read this article and there's some other articles, they were actually allow these predator mites to walk into the hive and actually nurture them in the hive. Some of the articles were saying because they know that they're good mites versus bad mites. Somehow the bees know. So I've seen them crawling. Not seen them in my hive. I've seen them crawling around the outside of my hives. But I don't go in my hives very often. So if I went in them more, I'd see them. So you can. This article was, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, maybe the answer. So I'm trying it. I don't like putting chemicals in my hive as I can, but it talks about it all. It's a pretty good article, and there is actually breeders. You can actually breed them just in a Dixie cup with a little bit of dirt, wood chips on top, and then you find a couple of these mites, or you get them and you put them in there, and they start laying, and then you have even more of them, thousands of them. So yeah, this used to have a date on it, but it's in the Bee Culture magazine. I used to get it a couple of years ago, and I read it a couple of years ago, and I go, "Oh, this is interesting." And I've always treated mites in my yard for the red spider mites. I get really bad red spider mites, and I buy these predator mites, and they get on my hives, around my hives, and all that. So I've always put these um, mites around my hive, and I got to a point where due to work, I wasn't treating my hives like I should be. I was just doing oxalic acid vapor, and my inspector comes out every year and he tests my hives, and he's never found a hive that had mites in it. Maybe one. That's the highest he's ever. He's always had zeros or ones. So I was. I didn't understand why that was. So Nancy, I put it back. So I'll keep on talking. So I didn't understand why that was until I read that article and saying, hey, I might have been treating mites and I didn't even know it. So last year I did one oxalic acid vapor treatment in December and I didn't see any mite fall. And I decided this year to not do any treatment because even that one in the wintertime might be killing pseudoscorpion mites also, and I don't want to do that. Um, I don't know, I have not read any article yet how these pseudoscorpion mites overwinter. They overwinter in the hives or they go into the ground. My guess is they go into the wood piles, deep into deep wood piles, and they overwinter in wood piles, just like many other insects, mites. So my guess is they're all outside the hive until springtime in the piles. So one of my things I'm doing is actually putting wood chips, rows of them, in front of my hives, just to promote them more and more. Is my treatment method. Well, see what happens. Right now, I've not. And another thing is, I've never seen deformed wing virus. I've never seen a virus in my hives ever. So I think I think it works better than they even mentioned in the article. And there's a couple good breeders. You can go to YouTube and type in pseudoscorpion or false scorpion mite breeding, and they'll go step by step how to breed them. I
Oh,
haven't gotten that far. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm
interesting.
just creating. Yeah, I'm just creating the environment.
Right. Huh.
So, I'm an engineer. I like to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to experiment.
Right, right.
You Right now, my
Um,
hives don't have enough honey in them, so I got to feed, or I need a rain.
oh, okay. So Collector Rick says he's seen the wing virus. Right. So one of the viruses that I start to see when I start to see bald bee paralysis, like when they start screaming and running around, they just jump out at you like sore thumbs. They're bald, so they don't have any fuzzies on them, so they're not foragers. They can't, they're not they're useless to the colony, and they make a lot of noise. They're very loud and they run around. And when I start to see them, we might see 5 or 6 of them in a colony, and I watch to see if the other bees are taking care of them. So 9 out of 10, the colony will get rid of that virus, and we'll get it out of the colony and not let those bees back in. So that's one that I see. I see deformed wing virus in the way. So deformed wing virus is a catch-all, an umbrella for many different wing viruses. So there's string wing, there's K wing, um, So deformed wing virus covers a lot of different things. So if you start seeing goofy wings, now K wing is kind of hard. You got to kind of touch them a little bit and see if they'll. Sometimes they'll come in and they're all the wings, four wings will be open. K wing is when they can't close them. So even though you got bees coming in and they've got all four wings out, just give them a little touch and they'll pull those wings back in. If they can't pull them in, that's K wing. So they've got two wings. I don't know if you can see this, but one wing, looks like a K. And if you touch them or blow on them and they can pull them back in, that's not K wing. So when I start to see viruses, and these are just ones you can see, there's 23 viruses that are transmitted through mites. Mites transmit about 20, it was 22, now I think it's 23 viruses they've discovered. So there's ones we're not even going to see. But when I start to see a colony, I will put DFM on it. Deformed wing, DFM, direct feed microbial, which is from Strong Microbial. It's a company, and when I start to see it, I'll dose them with that, and it gives that colony the leg up it needs to get control of things, to get rid of the bees that have the virus, to focus on good nutrition that's in the colony and getting that queen laid and laying up and all of that. So if your colony is on its way out and it's on its last leg, I don't know if DFM is really gonna make that much of a difference.
Yeah, it might be too late.
So zombies, I'm not sure what zombies are. I don't. I've had bees at night come after lights and do kind of a weird buzzy thing with the lights on at night, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I don't know if that's zombie bees. I don't know what that is.
I think that's just a light thing at nighttime because it affects a lot,
Yeah,
lot of insects.
they don't like lights. They don't like, especially at nighttime.
Yeah,
They don't like lights. So I think it's just that they got caught out overnight. It's a nice summer night. They're caught out. Um, and then they get excited when they see a light. I think that's what that is.
yeah. There's a name for it, a scientific name for it.
Yeah.
Missing abdomen. Damage it.
Oh,
Yeah,
missing an abdomen. I thought I've seen that. I have seen that, but I didn't. I thought they just got caught between
yeah,
boxes or something. I didn't know that
yeah.
was. I
That's
didn't know
why.
that was
Yeah, see,
actually
I
a
didn't think
thing.
that was a thing. I
No.
think that I don't think that's a thing. I think that was just somebody posting one that somehow got damaged and lost it, and they can live for a while. It's amazing. They won't live long. I've done that. I've crushed one where they've lost it, and just the
Yeah, I've
head
squished them. I've squished them, and
body,
then they toddled around for a little while. But
and then they die.
nah,
Yeah,
DFM isn't that expensive. A dose is a tablespoon.
yeah.
I don't know. We can pull it up. Yeah, but recording a video of a bee missing yak I caught. So here, let's go look at Super DFM. Let's go see what their prices are. Oops.
Super DFM.
Do you got it, Tom, or you want me to do it?
Beewood Bees sells it for 19.95 for a single 10 hive treatment. Package single 10 hive treatment. It's a bag.
Oh, I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna go straight to you. You can go straight to the
Yeah, Super
You can go
DFM.
straight to the company. You don't need to
I
go.
got it.
Uh,
I got it. Let me go full screen. Give me
sure.
present it. Give me a second.
And then because we want to look at the price, we want to look to see what I buy it by 100 doses at a time. Here it is. I buy 100 doses at a time.
So here's Strong My Cropper Wool. So that's who sells it. And so we got pricing down here. Here we go. Shop now. Okay. Select hobbyist. What?
No, 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 no.
I don't
Back
want
out of
that.
that.
Whoops. Went too far. Don't they have just this thing?
Yeah, at the very top, go up to the very top, and then right there, buy direct. You keep you right there, buy direct. And go in there and select 100. Select
100
there you
out.
go. Yeah, that. And then we can just divide it. One time
Yeah,
purchase,
120.
122.
So that's a little over $1.
$1.22 a serving. There you
Yeah.
go. Just to give you an idea. Now, so I buy the 100, and I think I've always bought this bag because you have enough to do 3 or 4. I mean, no matter how many hives you have enough to do 3 or 4 treatments a year, and then you just throw it in the freezer over winter or leave it in the cold. Just don't get it. Seal that bag up. It has one of those little sealy tops. You seal that bag back up just so don't let any moisture get in. So another thing that I do, if you see my videos, I put it in a Tupperware container. So I don't just trust that bag. I will seal that bag up, and then I stick it in a Tupperware container, put a lid on it. So I'm kind of double because you don't want that to get wet. And then you just, you know, that was always the best bang for the buck is 100 applications.
So how many
What's that, dollar
applications do you have
20?
to put up per hive, Nancy? Do you know? Is this one
Oh,
time?
I do probably 5 or 6 a year. So coming out, so this is my process for this is it's always on my golf cart. Like I keep it in my toolbox at all times. So coming out of winter, my first inspection, everybody gets a dose straight out of the gate.
Okay.
And then everybody gets a dose. Hold on, I've got to push buttons here. So that's
Yep.
one. Then second time around, everybody gets a dose. Everybody gets 2 doses in spring. Then if I do a split or catch a swarm, they get a dose. Then supers go on, supers come off. Everybody gets a dose after the supers. I don't use it when I have supers on. Just no, it's just you just don't need it. They're already cleansing things out.
Yeah.
Mites are low. It's okay. And then coming out, supers are off. Everybody gets a treatment. Mostly everybody gets another treatment again, and then
Cool.
I can do before winter. Like so now, if I'm going into the colony, I know it's the last time I'm going in, or I can just crack. What I'll do is I'll crack inner covers and I'll put a dose on them before I say goodnight for the winter. So what's that? 6 times a year?
5 times. Yeah. So you're looking at $6 a year per hive,
You
roughly.
just sprinkle it on the frames. I have a video. Let me go find my video. It's a quick, simple video on. I've never tried to do this before, but let me try and see if
So
I
that's about
can.
$6 per hive, and pretty really easy to apply.
Yeah, you put
That
it on
sounds like
top
a
of the frames.
no-brainer.
I'm trying to find, yeah, so it's not even a gallon. I mean, it's not even a pound of honey. I don't know where
Yeah.
I had a video on my channel. I had a video of me using it.
I might have, I think
Take
I'm
your
gonna
hive
buy
tool.
some, put some on
Huh?
before I close them up for winter time. Can you add it to your supplement? Like
No,
for sugar brick?
no.
No?
You don't want to add it. Nope, you don't want to add it. You want to just sprinkle it. So you take your hive tool, right? You got your container, whatever you
Yeah,
take your hive tool and you get a little mound on there. You get a little a
yeah,
tablespoon, which is just a little mound. You get that on there, you sprinkle it over the top, you put the lid right back on. Inner cover.
okay,
Whatever you use for an inner cover or not an inner cover, whatever. Close them back up.
right. Just
And
spread
then
it across the frames.
so they
Hmm,
eat it direct feed. So DFM is direct feed microbial. So the science behind, you can read the website, you can see their videos if you
right.
really want to get nerded out on it. I did that years ago. I don't remember it. But so direct feed. So you're directly feeding the microbials. You don't want to mix it with water. You don't want to mix it with anything. So Uncle, if 1 teaspoon per deep, if I have 2 or 3 deeps, if you want to crack your deeps and put 1 teaspoon on each deep, you can do that, or you can just put take your the hive tool twice, put it over the top. It's not something that you're really gonna screw up. You just take your hive tool, stick it in the product, the powder. Now you don't want to fill up. See, this is a regular hive tool. Here you go. And Hive Alive might do this. So see this little part that's the part of the hive tool that's the sharp end. See that little bit there? Put it in the powder that much, sprinkle it on. If you want to do two servings on your deeps, then do that too. You're not gonna it's not gonna screw it up. You want to put 4 on? I don't know. I wouldn't waste it, but hi, Dennis. Nice to have you.
Hey, Dennis. Yeah, I think I'm gonna order some. Just to start putting it on this
Yes,
fall.
yes. It's a go-to for me. I've had it for uh like I said, I started using it because I live next to a dairy farm, and it's for people that keep hives near agriculture. It's what it was kind of designed for. So that's why I started it. Um, and now I've just had good results with it. And yeah, $1.22 a serving.
Yeah. And that shouldn't hurt
It's
any,
it's in the category of can't hurt. It can't hurt your colonies.
and it shouldn't
Are
hurt
you going
any
to?
of my pseudoscorpion mites either. I
No,
wouldn't think.
no, it probably helped them.
Yeah. Probably help them too.
All right, bees and
Right.
nuts. I see
These
you're on
nuts.
coming in through Tom's channel, which is cool. We're on Tuesday nights at 7. You can
Yeah, that's a
subscribe to
lot.
my
Yeah.
channel too and check some of my videos out. Me actually working colonies, working bees.
Right. And I'm Maccabees, so Macberry bees, Maccabees.
Yeah, he's in through you. Bees and nuts.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Bees, nuts, honey. Bees and nuts.
These nuts. I don't know bees nuts.
Bees, nuts. I don't think bees have nuts. Oh, well, my husband just laughed from the other room. No, they do. They do. They're internally. The drones do have
Yeah,
testes. They're internal. If you squeeze them, you can pop them out. But yeah, they do. All right, Tom. Let's call it a night. It's going on 9.
right.
We gave it a good hour and a half. It really just this time of year, it's feed and treat, rinse and repeat, feed
Yeah.
and treat. That's the name of the
Feed,
game. We're
feed,
not.
treat, getting strong like DFM.
Yep. Treat with
Time
DFM.
if you feed fondant on top or sugar bricks on top or mountain camp, it's time to get your supplies to start making them very soon.
Good point. Yep. Start getting your products that you're gonna have as your emergency feed if you choose to do that.
Right. If
That
you
reminds
buy
me.
fondant, Hive Alive example. Just yeah, I just brought it up.
Yeah. So this is real easy stuff here. You just cut a hole. Well, you cut it in the label here, and then you set it on top. Here's my. We'll go into this more next week, but your Hive
Yeah,
Alive now. Let's pretend that we're on an 8 frame. We cut a hole in the label, a circle that goes over top of your inner cover, and then when you go to crack your lids, you can see how much the bees have consumed from here.
right,
Again, this runs you about $6. I use 1 to 2 per colonies north of Philadelphia up here. That's less than a pound of honey. Um, and it's way less than starving out replacing a colony at what, 250? What are they running now? 250. But yeah, when you start adding up the money to take care of a colony, always compare it to one. If you sell honey, how much is a pound of honey? I get
right,
15 to $20 a pound. So for me, $30-$40 per colony is well within range. And I sell nukes for $250. So it's part of the game,
right,
man.
right. That's why I like
But
that
yes,
super DFM. Only spending $5 or $6 per hive for a whole year of helping their gut out and the bee out. That's low insurance. All right. I do a sugar brick and then I put a hive alive on top of that. So if they go through the sugar brick by February, they're starting to hit the hive alive for them to start building up for spring.
Ed Goodfellow. So he does, yeah. What I do a little bit of both. When I see they're almost through that first pack, I'll take that off. I'll break it open so they lay it right in front of the colony. They get back in
Yeah,
there, and then I stick the second one on, and then I take that first one, and I'll tell you what I do with that in spring another time. But so next week we'll talk a little bit about what our options are for emergency feed. Um, why you want to put
yeah,
emergency feed on, where in the country you would definitely want to do that. We'll talk about winterizing, how we winterize our colonies and why we do that. So those will be some things that we talk about next week. The
sounds
topics will
good.
be in the description.
And where I live, since sometimes we have warm winters and sometimes we have very cold winters, I can explain when they need that emergency and when they don't need that emergency. You'd be
Yep.
surprised. You might be
All
surprised.
right. All right, everybody.
Everybody
Thanks
have
for
a great
coming. Thanks
week.
for showing up, and thanks for participating in our chat.
Yeah, everybody have a great night, evening, and week.
All right. We'll see
Night.
you. Bye. Good night.